Hello and welcome back from the break. We are still
Hello.
dice dropping Song of Ice and Fire game, Chronicles of House Weirlight. Back from our break, ready to keep going if you are. So we will pick up as we left off at the Olden Hall. We're going to pick up in the Olden Hall as we zoom in on Lady Vivienne. Now, Lady Vivienne, I believe you said something about wanting to test out Darren. Yes? Darren
Indeed.
Manning, your nephew.
Mhm.
What are
Remember
you
him,
doing?
guys?
I'm seeing if he has any aptitude for anything. I know socially he is horribly inept. So, and he's already what, 13?
No, he's
No, he's
Henrik.
my age.
How old is he?
He's Henrik's age.
He's
Oh
my
god,
age,
then
like-
there's no helping that. it's
you have to
personal
try.
stance.
He's technically like a few months younger than Henrik,
Understood.
yeah, like he's essentially at this point essentially 18 as well.
He's an
He's
adult.
just a
so
grown-ass
there- you
man.
can't- Okay, so there, so any social aptitude, I feel if he
Your
has
family
any,
has that
I
weird
would like
cousin,
to test
yeah.
for that. And if not, we'll test to like physically, and then try to see where he is at.
Like, so what do you mean by that? Like, are you like
Mhm.
seeing how his writing is? Are you seeing?
Yes.
And by
his
writing, I mean writing is what.
yeah.
yeah.
Writing,
okay.
etiquette, and then if he has, then to see like how he's like. I know there's no one here because the Master at Arms is gone currently with TJ.
Yes, they are at war.
Yeah. So I guess from there we'll see how he is with the Master of the Hunt, just to see what he is comfortable with, and then
Sure.
I would like to expand on something that he's already good at, than maybe trying to.
Sure.
in-
Yeah, I mean, Darren's good at writing. Like, he's fine with it. I mean, if you're running him through, like, are you like teaching him about like noble houses and stuff?
I am,
And
yeah, because he's still a noble son, even if currently he's
Yeah.
not with his brother.
yeah. I mean, he's a second son,
Mhm.
right? I mean, technically speaking, he's a third son, but
Mhm.
Oof, yeah. Oof, yeah.
Kai.
Yeah.
We were all there.
No,
Yep.
we know.
Crazy
But-
son of a bitch.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Darren's good at writing, and yeah, he's like learned things about the different houses. He sort of he does okay on the test and stuff. Etiquette wise, I mean, he's not great. He's just social niceties just don't seem to really be his strong suit. He's definitely not the worst you've ever seen. By and large, right? Like, but he doesn't seem to be able to read situations very well. Luckily, though, Darren's default seems to be quiet and polite, which is a much better default than many other people you can think of. The Shreves, perhaps.
Yeah.
Darren doesn't seem to overcompensate for anything, but he can, if he like knows he needs to speak, he isn't good at it. He
Okay.
fumbles with his words a lot. He just doesn't really have any kind of confidence.
Mhm.
And you know why. He's probably never received any form of reinforcement from any of his parents or really anyone in his family.
Right.
So he had no base to support him, and you only really gain confidence from something to support you.
Gotcha.
Thus, why Henrik was the way he was.
Mhm.
He was very well supported, and he made him very confident. But his mother's obsession with his brothers and
Mhm.
him and her like not even recognizing who he was, like, and you can kind of tell that's technically not gone. Like, that was a really fucked up thing he had to sort of deal with, and is still affecting him, obviously. But he's a man; he'll get over it. But yeah, and again, like, he rides a horse very well. He's okay at swordsmanship. I mean, he's definitely has training, right? Like, he's not going to be as good as Henrik is.
Right.
But he definitely has training. He's good at writing. He's definitely excellent with his bow. He's very, very skilled at that. He's also even skilled, like I think there's a scene of like you watching, you're like, okay, Darren, like now you're going to hit the like, the whoever is in charge is essentially telling Darren to hit the targets while on horseback. You're having lunch out there. And you definitely see him ride by and him just like very quickly like thunk, 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 like, bullseye, bullseye, bullseye. Like he's very good with the bow. However, he doesn't seem very good under pressure. Because there's another pass, and while the second pass, the instructor just starts screaming at him really loud, and his shots falter a lot. So again, hunting, very, very good. In a pitched battle, I mean, no one is perfect under pressure, but Darren is definitely not great under pressure. He has not great will power.
I think Jesse had a question.
Yes, Jesse. You're muted, my man.
It's just perfect under pressure in a battle, that's all.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Tedric's perfect, of course.
Mhm.
But yeah, the God damn, I hate you guys. But the totally thrown off now. Sorry. But yeah, no, he not great under pressure. Like he can definitely like go out in the woods. He can run well. Like he doesn't get winded easily. Like the boy's built, but he's just not built in a way that would make him that. He's just he's thin and ropey muscle, and it doesn't display well. He has a very plain face. Very plain brown hair in different clothes. He could pass for anyone. He looks like he's a noble because he is not covered in shit. But
Mhm.
It's a valid reason.
It's a valid reason. Why do you think he's a noble? He's not covered in shit. But yeah, that's predominantly the reason. Yeah, he's just like a very he's not the upside is he's not like ugly, right? Because you're just thinking of the uses for him. He's not ugly. He's not scarred. He's not cruel. Inept, very, very inept with women. He definitely has no problem like listening to you at all, Vivian. Like boy's not uppity or disrespectful or ill-behaved at all. In fact, honestly, he's an angel. And it's so shocking to you because literally none of your children are that well behaved. Mariella was eventually that well behaved. But throughout his entire stay here, he has been an actual genuine like quiet angel, does what he's told, like very obedient.
Does he go by is he able to go by like through a room unnoticed? Like, do people just not pay attention to him?
You have definitely noticed that before, yeah.
Huh. Okay. And how is he like just being like quiet, like naturally?
Yeah, he seems to be very naturally very quiet. His footsteps are very light.
Interesting.
You're just like, is Darren here? Oh, Darren. He's just standing there.
Yeah, all right. I would definitely then my plan I think is to for sure maybe get him some training with the Master of the Hunt and one of Lucas's spies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
And then I'll work on we'll have lessons about confidence. If not real confidence, then faux confidence. And then
sure.
He'll just be my nephew for a while.
So are you planning on kind of doing what you say where you're kind of gonna try and find eventually Darren a wife?
Yes, 100%.
Cool. And you're just like, all right, Darren, I gotta make you desirable.
And make you useful.
Yep. Darren Manning, and yeah, he's just been like, of course, of course, auntie, like I, just very respectful, but yeah, he definitely, whatever like peeping habit he used to have, because you guys were so fucking strict about where he went in the beginning, that you believe that habit has abated.
Good.
Oh, good.
Mhm. Um, you haven't had any reports of him doing that or any kind of thing with that nature. You're definitely not worried about him with like your servant girls, because you don't think he would have the confidence to.
Would I'll kick his ass
Do anything
From-
other than stare.
from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Good.
Again, he's not bad looking, but just if he's standing next to Henrik, it's not. He just goes like kind of brown.
He goes
and
from like a 7
hairy.
to a 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with them next to each other, you're just like, oh, who? Oh, it's Lord Henrik and
This guy.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Darren just standing there. He's like, oh, look at this young man. Look at this like fine young man. But when he's next to any one of your children or any of his siblings or anyone really connected, he just sort of goes.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, so he'll definitely. It seems like him and Lath have already been like talking,
Mhm.
and they have gone hunting because none of you guys hunt that much.
We hunt
You
and
know,
a guest come over. But that's
yeah, it's like an occasional thing, right? So most of the time he kind of just does whatever he wants. And apparently Darren's just been hanging out with him, and they, so he's teaching him stuff about plants and whatnot.
Mhm.
Bros.
Indeed. But yeah, so obviously, I'm guessing, have you told Darren of like, cool, so we're just gonna get you ready for a wife?
Yes, I for sure let him know because I want to see like what his interests are in an actual girl, and then I'd be like, all right, that's good. Here's what we're actually going to do. And here's
Sure.
what-
Have you? Does he look different? Because before he had this kind of mop of brown hair that
Mhm.
wasn't cut well because again, no one really paid attention to him.
Mhm.
So like, have you trimmed him up? What is he?
I
Does he
have
have
for
short
sure
hair
trimmed-
now?
Is his hair curly at all, or
No,
is it,
no, not really.
Alright. Then I would have cut it shorter, 100% sure.
Closer
Not
to scalp.
definitely something that's more complimentary to his
Yep. He does have facial hair. Sorry, Henrik. He does have
Why is
facial
it
hair.
everyone but me? Oh,
Blame your
This
mother.
is the true
Blame your
Weirlight
mother's
curse.
genetics.
my sweet baby cheeks. Oh,
It's the true Weirlight curse.
truly.
Yeah, so he does have some facial hair. It's like a mustache and like a bit of like goatee and stuff here. It's just mostly. So he cut his hair short. It's got a little thing. And honestly, with the facial hair and the haircut short, he looks better. He looks like more handsome. Again, he's just very average looking, but he's definitely you've made him with your upgrades. You've made him much more presentable.
Excellent.
Yeah, so you have sort of fixed Darren Manning up. Yeah, I am curious. Are you just like, do you have anyone in mind for Darren, or are you just sort of like, just in case?
Well, I mean, I think my first, if I can make it like a role for anything, who would be the most advantageous? Because I know he's still connected with his. He's still connected to the Mannings through his brother and stuff. What would be?
Well, advantageous for what? I guess it would be my question, because it really depends on what you want.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay.
Yeah, if you're not ready to think about that right now, that's completely fine. I'm just springing this on you.
Yeah. I guess what would help, like, if there is a match within, because I know probably primarily what would get the most beneficial matches would be if there's anyone that could possibly aid Sylvie, because she's also part of the Wise Club. If there is a match that would be
a match in the Crown Lands, then is what you're saying. Okay, so you don't want to have him help you secure things in the Reach.
Oh, can I do that? I didn't.
Of course you can.
I didn't know if anyone.
You're his legal. You're his guardian now.
Right, but we've obviously established that the Reach is super insular and they don't want to marry
Right.
outside of the Reach.
They are very insular, but it is your nephew.
That's very true. So
right?
yeah. Okay.
And you know for a fact Sylvie doesn't really want to see Darren,
Oh, okay. Got
right?
it.
That's sort of like a big thing.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll see if there's any matches in the reach then.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. Again, millions of dollars in the reach, right? Yeah. So if there's any situation that comes up, or if you're like something you want to specifically um you know secure something about the reach you want to secure, like there's a few houses in the reach. I don't know off the top of my head which ones would just be like best for general use, but if there was some aspect of the reach you wanted to get more into, and you think and like obviously marriage always helps. So if you have that in your mind now, or you want to think on that, it's all good.
I guess I'll think on that, because the things that I for sure want to aspire for, they're not going to be interested in Darren.
What is that?
The high towers again, because I know they're mad at he's mad at me because Henrik didn't marry his daughter, and that's his own damn fault for his daughter not being better.
Is it?
Oh, I've already blamed Henrik, and we're resolving that issue.
Fair
now the blame can shift to Hightower because Henrik's better now.
All right, great. Yeah. So as you're doing all that, Catalina comes to you, and says, "My lady, a raven has come from Lord Tetrick from the front."
Oh, what's going on?
Hey, she hands you the message, and I mean, I can just paraphrase, but Tetrick.
Yeah.
Jesse?
I'm here.
Yeah. Just, I mean, if you want to you can just paraphrase if you want, but like, how does the letter to Vivienne go? Because I know you want her to help you think, but is it like my dearest love? Like,
Let's just say it gets really sappy and romantic, but the point that gets across is that he needs your help to secure lumber from Craig Hall. And XOXO at the end.
Just like the days are long. Like, my dearest Belinda. Yep.
Both of your arms.
Just for funsies, Jesse, can you give me a charm roll? Just cause I want it. I need it in my life.
Okay, what would that be under? Persuasion?
Persuasion, yeah.
Please. You got this. Use your one.
I mean, it beats a TN9, which is above average. It's pretty charming.
Oh.
Into their marriage, he doesn't have to try to be charming. He just naturally occurs.
Yeah. So of course it's first like, my dearest love. I think love. I think of you. I think every day as I see the the bead on my sweat. All I can think of is being in your arms, and just like all that good stuff. You're just like,
oh.
Saucy doesn't get.
And then it's like,
never mind. I don't want to know.
Also, I need help with a diplomatic mission.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says you need
always choose to get what you want.
They need a large, a guaranteed large continuous shipment of lumber, specifically from Craig Hall, and if you can help organize that, reach out diplomatically, as he is otherwise occupied here. He knows you are so good at these such things, and it would do great for our house. Though my arm is on the battlefield, my thoughts are always of you and home. Love, your husband.
If I already didn't give that man another son, I would be pregnant again right now.
Alina's like, as you say, my lady. Just...
You're not wrong.
Right. To business.
Business. So what's the business?
All right. I guess I would
Baby
like
making.
to. Maybe when he comes back. I guess I would like to see what I know about Crake Hall and then start sending. I don't know if it would be
Absolutely.
better to uh, probably not go there personally because we have so much stuff dealing with at home, but to begin negotiations and or whatever I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, you can write a letter, and if you
Mhm.
want to go there, you totally can. Like, we can
Mhm.
just like, Game Thrones skips around a lot, right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to very much be vague with time. Like,
Mhm.
I'm very enforceful with that. If people are like, has it been so many months? I'm just gonna go. Time has passed.
Yeah, then
An
if I can
amount
go,
of time.
yeah, if I can go, I definitely would like to
Yeah.
maybe under the go ahead.
Mhm. Well, you said you want to like send a letter first and see what's what.
Yes.
And then but the first thing you said you want to know what was about Kraus Great Call. Yeah, absolutely. Make a breeding test, please.
Okay, and that's under status,
It
correct?
is indeed.
Status breeding. Here we go. 15.
Whew. 15. Very
So
good.
many ones.
So many ones. Yeah,
Oh, my.
absolutely. Yeah. So the Crake Halls are a house of the first men. Descended from
Oh,
Crake the Boar
fancy.
Killer from the Age of Heroes. They are an ancient house, just like yours. Well, House Weirlight, not House
Mhm.
like Adderfell. That's not that actually old of a house, but yeah, the Crake Halls are easily one of the oldest families in the Westerlands. They they are currently headed by Lord Roland Crake Hall, Lord of Crake Hall, heired by his eldest son Tybalt Crake Hall. He also has a second son, Lyle Crake Hall, who is commonly known as Strongboar. And then his third son, Merlin Crake Hall. He also has a brother, Sir Burton Crake Hall, who is known as an incredibly fierce knight. Lord Roland's father, Sumner Crake Hall, died in the rebellion.
Mhm.
He was killed essentially not too long after the start of the rebellion.
Okay.
And so Sir Roland took over, but Lord Sumner was well into his ages, as is Lord Roland. Like essentially like his second son Strongboar is like your age, Vivian.
Oh, okay.
So they're quite older.
Mhm.
Though there isn't Roland had his children very young. Like he
Mhm.
had Tybalt when he was like maybe 16, maybe younger.
Yeah, and I remember because Aaron definitely reminded us that my mother tried to engage Tybalt to marry Yellow, right?
Not Tybalt
Oh.
specifically. Tybalt's it was
already
yeah, because Tybalt is married, I believe. Hold on. I have more information
No,
in front of me now.
it was the Strongboar, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe it was Lyle.
Yep.
Okay.
Second son.
Yikes.
Yep.
Just a
He is
36-year-old man.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll
Yep.
be sure to not bring that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't know whether that was like a thing the Crake Halls wanted. You don't feel like it was.
Right.
That was definitely a thing. Now, the whole thing is, Lord Sumner Crake Hall was very religious, just like your family. However, what you know about the Lord Roland, not really.
Okay.
Roland is not religious, nor any of his sons.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. I mean, they're as much as they're religious as any. What's it called? Noble family in the Reach, but yeah, no, they're not.
Fanatic.
Thank you. They're not
Fanatical,
fanatics by
super
any means.
pious, or any of that.
Yeah, no, not really. They're more fucking. They love fucking fighting, man. the Craycalls. They are warriors, born and bred. Lyle, the strong boar. I mean, he's called the strong boar for a reason. Dude, huge bushy beard, just massive man. Yeah. So yeah, but also Lord Roland, his wife is dead, unfortunately.
Oh, unfortunately.
She died. Yeah, she died of a of. I mean, it's kind of unclear, but she essentially died of probably. They said like of sickness, but it seemed to probably be some kind of complication from like her birth and stuff. She bore 3 massive young men, lived well after they had become men in self. You know, she died at around. She probably died in her maybe 40s or 50s. Probably 40s. Which, you know, that's still pretty good.
Pretty good
But
for
yeah, but she did die kind of. Yeah, it's sad. Roland misses her, but that was quite a time ago. His wife died before his father, so like, it's not like he's necessarily that. The Craycalls aren't exactly a
Emotional crew.
Yeah, I mean, like they're not like they don't hold on to stuff like that really. But yeah. Sorry, hold on. There's all these fucking messages popping up and it's driving me insane. Mute. All right, cool. So yeah, so let's see. You got how would you get it again? 15? 15. All right, cool. Well, that's mostly the family. The like actual like House Craycall, you know, sorry. I mean, some random things like Jamie squired for Lord Sumner Craycall.
Oh, okay.
At one point. And you know, Roland Craycall was one of the first, as I told teacher. He was like one of the first 2 men on the scene at the death of King, the Mad King Eris. And he saw the Oathbreaker pull his blade out of the back of the man. So that's their biggest kind of claim to fame. But they're an old house. Let's see here. Roland Craycall was let's see here. He was Roland was actually a member of the Kingsguard at one point. Before he like left essentially to fulfill his like roles as a son. And much to Tywin Lannister's chagrin. But he was one of the sworn him and his like sworn brothers. He's one of the 3 members of the Kingsguard that escorted the royal family to Ashford, and he took part in the trial of 7 on the side of Prince Aerion Targaryen. During the this was all during like the thing that started the Blackfire Rebellion, because that happened while you were alive. You were just much younger.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing happened. He was kind of involved with that. Obviously, the family seemed loyal to the Targaryens, but then Tywin Lannister went, "We're with the Baratheons now," and everyone in the Westerlands went, "Okay." But yeah, they rule out of Craycall. Their coat of arms is a brindled black and white boar on a brown field. Their words are none so fierce. Yeah. They serve directly to House Lannister.
Okay.
You wouldn't necessarily call them. They're not like necessarily a major house, but they're not like tiny or insignificant by like any means. Yeah. Whew. Any other questions?
No, none that come to mind.
Like
anyway.
yeah, like they're essentially a major house. Like you would probably say they hold rises near the sea, west of the sea. Yeah. You also know the Craycalls have house ties to House Frey. There's been at least 2 marriages between their house.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So that's what you know. Yeah. Any questions about the house that you want to know?
None that come to mind. Oh, well, I guess are they going to receive me in this like negotiations as a woman, or are they is this something that I need
you
to
don't
finagle through?
you being the daughter of like Lord Adderfell and like the wife of a major house lord, you don't think Roland Craycall or is the kind of man to disregard you just because you're a woman.
Okay.
I'm not saying he's just the wokest man who thinks women should lead or whatever, but like if he recognized that like wives have places and do diplomatic things, like he's he's not willfully ignorant or anything. He's still very much a man of the time, but no, 100%. If you were telling him how to win a war, he would laugh at you.
Right.
But if you were just like beseeching for aid on behalf of your house for timber, right? That's for sure something a wife would do. Like that's not weird. Especially if your husband is busy like fighting, like that's for sure a thing, you do. So not a big deal.
Okay. Then yeah, if I know that, then nothing else comes to really mind. You gave me a lot of information.
All right, cool.
Dun, dun, dun. To the boars.
All right, so well, I'm yeah. Is there?
You stopped talking, so.
Oh, I thought you were writing something. I was.
No.
Wait, what did you want to write to them?
Oh, well then I guess if I could, because I won't be able to use any of my benefits in a letter, because I know I tried that before and it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah, not entirely, but we can. I mean, we can finagle things. Like, what do you want to say in letter? Is how do you want to go about this? Like, are you just asking to talk so you can come direct the thing, or you're like, hey, we have. How do you want to handle this situation? Tell me about it. And you can ask me questions too.
Okay. Well, am I going to be like will this be an intrigue in order to be able to get timber?
I mean, yeah, basically.
Okay.
And it would definitely. I mean, your skills, Vivian, right? Like, if you could be there, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you could.
Yeah.
You could get whatever you fucking wanted out of these people because you're Vivian goddamn Weirlight.
Yeah, so I think I guess when I send my raven, I would be asking for an invitation to Craycall.
Yeah, so we can have that invitation. So what reason would you give? Obviously, you said like probably a business discussion of some kind. But question, this is something I'm just going to ask you, and you can answer. Did you know Roland's wife?
I will say yes.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, she was a Westerlands girl. Yeah. Cool. What was his wife's name?
His wife's name was.
She's completely unnamed in the stuff. So
Goodness, I'm trying to think of all the other like Westerland girls.
he's
Lazy.
He's just like my wife. And I was
My
like,
wife. She doesn't have a name. It's just wife.
My
my
lady.
wife.
Mhm.
My lady.
Let's
My
see
wife.
here. Da, 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 da. Sorry, I'm trying to like look through the other.
Well, we have examples like there's Darren and things. It doesn't need to necessarily be super fantasy.
Yeah, so
Very
you have like,
true.
5 Ys or 6 Rs. Just
Da, 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 da. Let's say Danielle.
Danielle. Fantastic. Yep. So Danielle Craykall. Alas, you knew her well. Obviously older than you, but you had interactions with her and whatnot. So yeah. So did you want to like use that connection of like, I would love to visit like the family of my old family friend and catch up. Are you going to who are you going to bring with you?
Obviously Micah.
Right, yes, of course. But I'm thinking, you bring any family?
Does Henrik want to come? He seems
Well, Henrik has to stay. He can't go.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't
okay,
think I could. Yeah.
No, I'm thinking kids, Vivian.
The
are
other
any-
ones
are any-
besides us.
Yeah, but he
besides
doesn't.
me.
I don't think if all of his kids are older, like, do I bring?
Well, they have children, and children have children. Like, it's a
okay.
big family.
I gotcha. Then yeah, I'll bring the kids.
It could be just be like, hey, let's our families. We haven't talked in so long.
Yeah, I'll bring kiddos.
We live in the same house. We haven't talked in so long.
No, I mean the Craycalls.
Oh, them. Sorry.
Yeah. So you bring who you bringing? Are you bringing Tisea?
Of course, I'm bringing Tisea.
Are you bringing the little ones?
Eric, I will have stay because he's a baby.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I'll bring Tisea and Valena because they're toddlers.
You,
They can
you
see
mean Valena and Philippa?
Valena and Philippa, right? They
Yeah.
all end.
Tisea is your 10-year-old now.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. You I think you can absolutely bring them with you.
My girls.
Obviously, Micah. Are you bringing Darren?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Like, all right, you're gonna go socialize with men. And the men at Craykall are men.
Yeah.
Just literally like deep tanned, scarred eyed,
Mhm.
intent. They are if honestly, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the Craykall men look like if a witch turned a boar into a man. That's the Craykall men.
I feel like there's just a musk in all of Craykall that's not necessarily boar.
Yep. Like if you ever has anyone actually like eaten boar, like smelled what, like when you cook the meat, what that smell is? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Aaron, I imagine it just smells that heavy scent everywhere.
It's like super gamey plus musky kind of a thing. If anybody needs
It's
that.
not super appetizing
No.
smelling. But because they eat boar so often there, like it's just stuck into the walls.
Nice.
Yeah, so why don't you give me a this is like you in your note in the raven you're sending, you want to visit because of Sir Roland's wife. You want to speak with them and like reconnect Westland roots and talk about a business proposition for
Yes.
the house as well. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so why don't you give me like we kind of do before, you kind of put your eloquence down. So what I actually should have done before, and this is better, you have is what we should probably do is a language
Okay.
skill test roll. What is your rank in language, my lady?
4.
Yeah, that's about right. Do you have any specialties?
I believe I had yes, because I had to get a 2 die specialty in, I guess, Westerosi in order to
Yeah.
get eloquence.
That will work here.
Okay. So rolling language with. I don't know if I spelled Westerosi correct, so I apologize and clicking it now.
I believe you did.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, 14. That's fantastic. Yeah. TN was 9.
Nice.
So yeah, it's what, 2 degrees of success. Yeah. You get a response, timely, from like the desk of Lord Craykall. They said they would be uh happy to receive you, and it would be nice to like reminisce about like, you know, past wife, and interested in dealing with you. From the way it's written, you're pretty sure they're like, they know how fucking rich your family is. So they're like, business, like money. Yeah, so absolutely. Henrik, you're just sort of tertiarily told that, like, okay, hi, I'm going to the Westlands, I'm taking the family, bye.
Okay. And they're gone. Okay.
Yep. Well, I think Wormwood has, I think Wendell Wormwood, I believe, has your full authority to continuously go.
Oh, he's still here.
Of course.
Oh, of course he's still here. He's going to be here for the next while.
Forgot.
It's the wedding
How-
of the.
How could I forget about him? Yes.
Yep. You know, Wendell and the head housemaid and the chef have all become really good friends.
Oh.
You have occasionally seen Wendell just helping out a lot. He talks to the staff a ton, and occasionally, yeah, you just see him like watching kids for people, because of the
With a knife in his hand.
Yeah, just holding the knife. Nothing weird about
He's
that.
cutting up apple bits so the baby can eat it.
Uh-huh.
He's very, but yeah, he's getting paid so much money, so he's just happy to help. Yeah, so Vivian will head off to Craykall for that diplomatic mission. Now, however, we are going to go to Nymora.
Hello.
Hello,
I am here.
You are here. So glad to have you.
Yes.
Nymora.
Yes.
You are currently I know, is there things that you wish to accomplish in this session today, Nymora?
I have to go look at poisons.
Excellent. So, now, how would you like to do this?
Carefully.
You can ask plenty of questions. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm not particularly deceitful.
Sure.
So I think that probably the best way to go about this is just to go and say is that I would like to just get a better tally of all of the different things that they have, so we're more prepared in the future.
Okay. That is gonna require a persuasion convince. It's
Mhm.
not a high TN. You are a knight, and
Mhm.
you have been given a certain privilege here. But I am going to need a persuasion convince,
I'm gonna try.
or I guess technically deception. But do you have the same rank in it?
I have a 2 in deception and a 3 in persuasion.
I'll let it ride for this time because it's not entirely inaccurate. We'll just
I'm
kind of.
being very earnest about this.
But you're not. But like, yeah, I mean that's more than enough. It was the TN was 6, right? Like,
Mhm.
so you're fine. Yeah, they let you in. However, like you're not alone in there. The guy who let you in is in there with you. It's like not a small storage area. But yeah, so you want to search around for some poison?
Yeah, I want to search the the
Contraband.
goods that the contraband that we
Absolutely. Yeah, you find that
obtained.
it's not hard to find. Yeah,
Mhm.
and there you open a crate, and there are several vials
Mhm.
with different names, like names on them. Some of them just have symbols, but some of them have words and names.
I just kind of crouch down with my hand on my chin and just look at them for a bit.
Uh huh.
Just like there's not much that I can glean from this. Or
Hmm.
do any of the symbols seem particularly threatening?
Not.
Is there one with a man bleeding from his eyes or something like
No,
that?
there is a symbol of what looks like a very like a jade colored reflective face on
Mm.
there.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
uh, there is some wrapped up. There are what look like some mushrooms. They're like umbrella shaped, with a sort of uh, like grayish cap.
I do not trust those. I don't touch those.
Mhm,
Um,
nice.
there are some that are labeled. Like, what are the? Do any of the labels sound familiar?
Um, the labels. Well, one. Yeah. Hold on. One is just is labeled something in language you can read. It says "sweet sleep."
Oh, okay. I know what that is.
Do you?
I know what that is.
Hmm.
I don't know if Naimura does. She might. I mean, it's not uncommon because it's medicine, right?
It can be. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you would know that it is powder generally. Let's roll. Why don't you roll either education, medicine, or cunning? Your choice.
Let's do. It's all the same, I believe. Uh, let's just do cunning.
Okay.
6.
6. Yeah. So what you know about sweet sleep is it's generally a powder used to calm nerves, lessen pain, help you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just a few grains.
The
Grain.
generic for milk of the poppy.
Well, it's just a few grains are all that's really needed to calm, like a pounding heart or reduce shakes or stuff like that. A pinch provides a dreamless slumber. Um, uh, However, 3 pinches will gift you endless sleep. Yeah.
Is
Um, it's.
is the other guy watching me?
I mean, he's not staring at you, but he's there.
Uh-huh.
Like he
Okay.
has the ability. He has the ability to notice things.
Mhm.
But yeah, you also know that specifically, she did ask for something she can put on her knives.
Yeah.
This definitely cannot be put on knives.
No.
However, it
Okay.
could be something she wanted. If you want to try and sleight of hand it, you totally can.
No, I would rather I would rather try and get something that's a liquid that she can actually do something
Sure.
with.
Okay. I was wondering if you
Um,
want to try multiple things because you can.
you're trying to trick me.
Mm,
You're trying to bait me.
now I'm just telling you, what you can.
um, yeah, no, I'll yeah, you know what? Fuck it. I have 4 points of destiny. All right, yeah, I'll try.
Okay. All right. So if you want to sort of sleight of hand,
Mhm.
I believe, what is it? Hold on.
It's thievery.
I believe it is thievery. Yes.
There's legit like a thing that is like sleight of hand.
Yep. Excellent.
Um uh do
How's your thievery?
2.
Oh, okay. Well,
Average.
not great. All
Average.
right. Well,
Um
let's see.
I I would like to spend a destiny point to give myself a bonus die,
Bonus
please.
dice. Absolutely.
Mhm.
9.
9.
The exact number you needed.
Yay.
The vigilant guard, and you're just like, put the large bag into your like it's kind of swivel up into a fold of your armor, and he does not notice that you grabbed a thing of sweet sleep.
Okay. All right, now a vial of something.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's something that you can I'm trying to look through the list of things that are here. Oh wow, I'm dumb. Whoops, totally forgot what those different words means. I am the dumb.
No, you're not.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. All right, awesome. So that yeah. Yeah, you another looks like a processed vial. Let's see here. A processed vial of paste, and it says Wolfsbane on it.
Okay. I don't know anything about that. There's not any wolves around here. Is there anything that's more like a liquid? Because that's a paste.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could put that on a dagger.
Yeah, I mean a paste would definitely hold better than a liquid on a dagger.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of liquid things, but you don't know whether they're there for drinking or
Yeah.
because again, your cunning test lets you know some bit like sweet sleep is something you definitely have heard Lady Vivian take or the family take and Thorsten give to people, but some of this stuff you're just like, I don't know, what's that? Like again, you're not really like, yes, there are mercenaries who you poison, but I think you've made it pretty clear you are not one of those people.
No, I just stab. All right, let's just take the Wolfsbane and get out of here. I'm pushing my luck already. I will use another destiny point to give myself a bonus again.
Yeah. You could also if you want to try and distract him with something before you do it or anything like that, any benefits like that too.
I could. I would do to distract him though.
I know not.
Could I try and like so I'm decent. I'm okay with like marksmanship. Could I try and like toss something outside so he goes and like investigates it?
Absolutely. Yeah, you totally can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to give me yeah, we'll call this I mean
Or would it be agility or
I mean marksmanship if you were to throw something technically because this is definitely you're trying to deceive him. Yeah, let's say marksmanship throwing for deception. It's going to be higher than if you just tried to basically deceive him because you're doing a physical thing, but you're very good at it. So let's see what's what.
Let's try. 11.
11. Yeah. So yes. Hold on, my brain shut off for a second. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so that succeeds. Yeah, you kind of like grab like a little pebble and a rock and just throw it out part of a window, and he just like, what was that? One moment, and he just like will look outside to just check, and then the moment you're doing that, you make that thievery roll to try and it's lowered the TN.
All right, now I will spend a bonus. I'll spend a destiny point to get another bonus die.
Okay. Yeah, the TN was moved down to 6. So
Nice.
yeah, you just grab it, put it away, and just like, well, everything seems good here.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you leave.
Why am I doing this,
And
guys?
it's just like, so it's all good then.
There's some things in there that I think that should probably be concerned about. Especially considering that one of them is a wolfsbane, which
He
looked like it.
he looks at you weirdly, like,
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Mm. In future about more like poisoned weapons. They're going to be more prepared in the future.
He goes, I mean, farmers use wolfsbane.
I just I pat him on the shoulder. I'm just like,
Yeah, she's just like,
keep that, just keep thinking that. All right, I leave. I just leave. Fuck off. Fuck off.
But they do. Farmers do use wolfsbane on animal traps. But yeah, so yeah, you make it out. Allie is looks like it kind of finds you real fast, and he goes, "What'd you get? What'd you get?
Would you stop? Would you stop? Would you just walk with me, please?
I am walking with you. What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get?"
Look, there's a lot of things in that box that I don't know what they were, but I got wolfsbane and just a absolutely massive bag of sweet sleep.
I mean, I could use both of those. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Give me. Come on.
I hold them above her head. I was just like, promise me that you were going to be careful, all right?
She steps back a bit and looks kind of pissed at you. She goes, "I'm not a fucking child. I'm a professional. I
I know.
have killed people for money most of my entire fucking life. I know what I'm doing."
I know that you do. I just don't trust poisons.
Well, of course you don't trust poisons, Nimora. You're dumb. Dumb people don't know what poisons are. But don't worry, your friend Ali. I think I'm smart, and I
I
know
put
how.
the bag of sweet sleep on her head.
She's just like, careful with
Mm.
that.
I know. I know you're good at what you do. And I know that Lady Vivian has been training you to be even better at what you do.
Well, yeah, about the bits that I didn't already know, but she can't tell me what I already know. But yeah, thank you. This, I mean, this can help me help us a lot better. It's good. You did good, Nomura. Like this is part of it, right? If every good deed can be won by righteous action, people would fucking do it, wouldn't they? But
When
we
did
can't.
when did you become a philosopher?
I mean, some of the books they had me read did. They had some interesting things to say. Most of them were boring. Most of them were about men. But but yeah, there's some interesting things.
All right. Tell me what you plan on doing with those. Or you just to have them.
Well, it's a bit of my business right now, Namora. I mean, you're not exactly a great liar. And if people start asking questions and you just suddenly look all stark and nervous looking around, you're gonna blow my cover.
I roll my eyes. All right.
She just smiles.
Keep your secrets.
Yeah, don't worry. It ain't gonna be anything but thank you. But seriously, no more. But it's like, thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. I didn't want to have to, blackjack the old boy and going in because then people would have been suspicious.
You
All
know,
right.
I'm a little bit concerned about how easy that was for me.
Well, you built a reputation. People trust you no more. Which is why I used you. You are what Lady Vivian calls a cat's paw.
I grab her around the neck and just start giving her just the mother of all noogies.
I'm just like, just like, you just hear her make cat noise. It's like, just,
yeah. You want to talk about a cat's paw? Come on, you.
just,
And I let her go.
she's just like sheathes the dagger that she was pulling out. Immediate escalation. But
Switch
yeah,
to combat.
she just scratches her very short hair, and adjusts her dress. Goes, I'm a lady. You're accosting a lady in the halls of Highgarden. What would people say? She just adjusts herself.
I think that they would say that this particular lady needs to be accosted a little bit more.
Well, yeah, maybe. Anyway, I have things to do. If there's nothing else you need me for,
Have you seen Lady Mariella around lately?
I mean, yeah, I see her every day. Like,
No,
like,
I mean today specifically.
oh, what today? I mean, yeah, yeah. She, she went out riding with Garland. Wait, what is? That's good, huh? Right? Laying the groundwork.
I'm worried that she's getting in over her head. But I am always worried that, so perhaps it means nothing.
I mean, what are you worried about?
I am worried because none of the people here I trust.
Well, of course not. That's why we're here, right? If you want to worry about her, that's you doubting yourself, Nomura. That's what you got to do. I'm not worried because I know I'm the best. You're the best. We're here. We're in her corner. Therefore, nothing to worry about.
Just kind of look at her a little bit pensively. Just, maybe you're right.
The cockiness of youth. Right? Right. I think. Anyway, I think there's a lad that needs a bit of my attention, if I may. And she just bows, Sir Nomura.
Remember to use Moonty.
Like what? Oh God! She just like rolls her eyes and just like leaves. Hurries off.
All right. And yeah, I'm going to first I'm going to check and see if there are any messages for me. And then and if there are not, then I'm going to go and see if I can find Mariella.
Okay, there are currently no more messages for you. Unless I'm sure. You already got the invitation. Yeah,
I did. Yeah,
I have to check sometimes. Yes, not currently, but yes, you. There are no messages at the moment, but yes, you may go and try and find Mariella.
Okay. Just kind of start down at the stables because that's where Ellie said she was last.
Yeah, she's not at the stables anymore, but yeah, you can find her pretty quickly. It's not
okay.
I mean, it's a big place, but there's only so many places Mariella goes, so you go to those places. Okay. Yeah. Currently, you find her outside of Marjorie's apartments. Not just like standing in the hall or anything. She's basically at like a lovely balcony overlooking the immaculate view of the Reach. What are you doing, Mariella? You've kind of done a lot of the stuff you wanted to do, but you're still sort of waiting. It's like the tail end of Marjorie's lessons. You still have some time. What do you do to pass the time near there? Are you like crocheting? Are you doing the lady
Am I
thing?
tatting?
Yeah, the things that ladies are supposed to do to pass the time.
like embroidery and shit.
Yeah.
Needlepoint, yeah.
I think
Needlework.
I'm kind of rounding up like a set of letters.
Okay.
Because I had probably finished a pattern for Tisea, so it's a letter. There's a letter for Tisea. It's probably a
Mhm.
letter for Henrik. I think like once every couple of like quote unquote like months. I understand we don't have months, but like for our general reference, it's like
Yeah.
she shoots one off to Garrick.
Okay. Nice.
So it's like kind of like a batch of sibling letters, kind of a thing.
Mhm.
So she's probably finishing up penning one of them.
All right.
What a damn, huh?
What are them there?
One of them there things.
So yeah, just approach and put my hands back behind my back and just Lady Mariella,
Nymora, yeah.
how has your day been going?
So far, I would say fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
Currently waiting for the ink to dry before sending these. Kind of gesturing to the set of letters.
And did you enjoy your ride?
I did.
Hmm.
Would you like to sit?
I suppose I'll just come closer and take a seat and just sort of just look out over this broad, beautiful expanse of like
Mhm.
gardens and flowers and just like
Lad.
You see a
Mhm.
bird of paradise like land on a branch near you. That's
Oh.
really, it's not a branch, it's just one of their many golden like just bird stems that just sort of shoot out in different places so they can rest and be admired.
Oh, disgusting. um I think after a couple of seconds, I just put my head in my hands. My lady, do you miss home?
I miss
A loaded
elements
question,
of it,
I'm sure.
but as we've discussed before, Theoden Hall, it's where I begin, it's not where I end. It can't be my home forever.
I move my hand so that I'm kind of like looking at her out of the side of my eye. I miss it very dearly. It has
No.
been 2 years of feeling like I am next to useless. I am not made for this kind of court, I think.
It doesn't help that many of them dislike half of your heritage either.
No one has given me any trouble. But I imagine that is because I have been very careful to not bring attention to myself outside of my Lord Garland. But I might as well be a training dummy for him. Just a very skilled one.
Yes, you're one that throws objects back at him.
But I have been thinking. And you know, my lady, that I do not come from high origins. My mother, well, raised me by herself in Old Town. I did not learn to read and write until I was 16. And I don't know any of the things that go into. I just kind of gesture at the room, the bird
The
of paradise.
surroundings, yeah. Yeah, she'll just kind of
The
like
bird of
nod.
paradise makes
Yeah.
the most awful sound.
Yeah, it
Right.
does. Like peacocks.
But I now find myself in a position where it is important for me to learn these things. How to be courtly, to know history and houses. And my lady, if you have already done most of the work in teaching your younger siblings. If you would find it in yourself to offer me some pointers, I would be very, very much obliged.
I wouldn't refuse you aid, Naimora. Is this because of what they're having you do here, or?
No. The other knights here have been very kind. I have just been thinking a lot since Lady Clarissa got married. Do you know I am closer now to my 28th name day, I believe. And seeing my Lord Henrik getting ready to wed, and Clarissa, and yourself, has made me realize that time is running out for me. I do not want to fade into obscurity as some talented but nameless hedge knight. If I could, I would keep serving House Weirlight for generations.
But
I am not immortal. But children. I could have children. I need to know how to be a proper lady. At least a little bit. I wrote to my father and asked him to see if he could find any eligible knights in Dorne. Like I said, I don't want to fade away. And so, you are the most proper lady I know, my lady.
I have probably had one of the most thorough educations under my mother that we both know. Although I think Tisea might beat me by the time she's my age.
I fully expect Tisea to eventually be queen. So, But if there is anything that you can recommend, I would be greatly appreciative.
I can I can assist you. But let's find what elements could be complementary to who you already are.
I don't know if spear work and being able to take multiple knife wounds to the chest are really the sorts of things that men look for in a wife.
No,
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
No, but Nomura, you are compassionate. And you do have other qualities that, although they may seem rough, they are prized regardless.
That is the thing. Compassionate doesn't mean anything.
Well, as I said,
Not.
we can start with elements that suit you. And if you would like to know some of the more intricate things, which we will probably have to have a discussion of expanding your wardrobe and a few other things, since, as you can understand, this, making a gesture to like what she's wearing, this is essentially my armor while I am here.
Mariella 100% has gotten Naimura like other clothes, and
Yep.
she has worn
She
them.
still
like,
don't wear them.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, y'all are Westeros. Marielle's a Westerosi girl. She's never worn a dress twice. That is, what are you, poor?
If you wear the same thing within a month, there's a problem.
You just like, oh look, a party. I need a new dress, and that is the statement that everyone states. You don't
Pretty much.
You don't keep clothes. You wear it. And you never wear it again.
It
What are you,
immediately
poor?
goes into the Goodwill pile, and if anybody else sees you wearing that dress, they know, oh, that's a hand-me-down. So-and-so wore that dress.
Yep, excellent. Okay. So I think we're going to fly away from High Garden, and we go deep within to the bowels of the Theoden Hall. Thorsten, my lovely mad warlock, it's a living.
Look.
Cue cauldrons
local-
bubbling to the side. An odd
Local
crow
blood
sound in the
local
background.
blood-based experiments
Neon
on Snake
green
Man.
flame going in the
Yes.
corner.
So well, not necessarily, but Thurston, what are you doing, man? In my outline here, I had an outline of what I want to do with everyone and asking. I'll just tell you for you is let Thorsten continue with his weirdness.
That's pretty sound advice.
So Thorsten, what you doing, bud?
I want to first of all I want to know how the new pit is coming along for
the
Snake Man.
Right.
The new Snake
I had to
Man.
commission
It will be completed soon.
Okay. The Snake Man.
To where it would be like properly underground sealed,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
all of the and then also at the top of the hole there's like it's just enough above ground with like a grated window that'll vent the smoke out. Like you've unfortunately there's not a way to like disperse it quickly, but there is a way for it to disperse. Like it's coming along.
I'm just gonna plug a fan in. Okay. I would like to. The man that was condemned for murder.
Yeah. Peter.
He's just in a regular old jail cell, pretty much.
He's in your dungeon.
I have a dungeon?
No, the house dungeon.
I was a little confused. I'm like,
you have a tower cell, and then you have a dungeon.
Okay.
He is currently in the dungeon.
Okay. I am going to go down to him with a couple of vials, and I'm going to, as bad as this sounds, I'm going to bleed him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, this can be done. You can have people hold him.
Yes.
Because he's not in a great state of mind to be super compliant. Obviously, he's not quite all there. So,
I can always just give him milk with a poppy to kind of be in a permanent coma.
Yeah, but that might taint the blood, right? Having the milk with a poppy in there. So,
yes, I'd like to
look him in the eyes, you bleed him.
Thorsten definitely looks people in the eye as he cuts into the cannon.
You have noticed that his eyes are incredibly bloodshot and his pupils very dilated. Or, well, to you, they're not called pupils. They're called. Damn it! It's hilarious.
There's a name for it.
Anything of like Western medicine pre 1865, and it's the most batshit nonsense. I'm a man and I know what I'm talking about. Shit I've ever heard or read. It's so hilarious what they call things, and it's just.
We should be calling like blood, like humors or something like that.
The core of the eye.
Yeah. They really did not.
Or something.
They obviously had no idea how the hell the body worked. They're like, "Oh, you have a headache? Great. I'll just bleed your feet, and you'll be fine."
I'm just putting leeches on your stomach, man. From my side.
Out. But as it is canon, maesters are much more advanced than a lot of Western medicine men would have been at this time because fantasy. But yeah, you notice his pupils are quite dilated, and he has very bloodshot eyes. His eyes are very sunken in.
I could probably.
Yeah, you get vials of blood from him. What else would you like?
That's what I'm going to start with first.
Okay.
And while the blood is still fresh, I'm going to take it up and do the same set of experiments I've been doing in the past with the flower, the Weirlight flower, just to record and test the.
Yeah. So if you pour it on a Weirlight flower, nothing really happens.
I'm gonna pour it in some of the soil.
Yeah, if you pour it into the soil, where some things are planted, you not immediately, but you will notice over the course of some time that it will begin to grow.
Obviously not as fast or as
no, it's not as utterly ridiculous as you did with air blood, but it seems this is an agent for the growth of these things. And you've noticed, no matter what kind of nutrients are in the soil or anything with like the spore pod, like you can't get Weirlights to grow. But this blood seems to be a catalyst, and that seems to be a constant thing. There's sort of a weird missing component, right? Thorsten, your blood causes the spore pods to bloom and implant themselves. And it seems like this blood, whatever it is, seems to help those grow. Whatever the component of Henrik's blood meets both of those criterias.
I need to find another non-air to get blood from to see if to increase my range of study versus it just being 3. So I think Thorsten's going to do his good deed for the small folk and offer up a couple hours of clinic.
Oh my.
and
Yes,
and
absolutely.
draw some
You
blood and
yes, you day of course weeks probably like a week ahead of time you let out
Mhm.
the information that if any of the sick can be come to the castle and will be treated.
Yep.
You come, you set up, of course, a station outside. You don't want them
Yes, of course, especially with
filthy
wedding planning.
peasants, especially with the wedding planning. Exactly, you don't want the filthy peasants in the keep. But you set out your tent, and you have your
Mhm.
people, and yeah, you come by, and it looks like aches and pains. It's a lot of the time you're just sort of setting bones. We're like, hey, my arm doesn't kind of feel quite right, and you're like, your arm is broken, dude, and he's like, oh, that's interesting. Like, and he's just like felt a little sore. Like these people just are folk who don't have time for a lot of stuff.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
They work
sun
they
up to
work
sundown.
sun up to fucking sundown.
As
Every
my as my grandmother once said, rub some dirt on it.
Yep,
Yep.
very much so. Yep. So why don't you give me a medicine test, a healing test? Excuse me. Every time you sing medicine, it's a different game.
Just a standard healing.
Do you have diagnosis?
I do have diagnose.
Then that will do it.
Okay.
I diagnosed you with a broken arm.
Yeah. So it's a lot of like small aches and pains, and you're like, oh, if that maybe like take a day off, and he's like, day off. Let's be that.
What's that?
What's that? And you're like, debating, do I tell this small folk what like vacation days are? Maybe not.
No.
But yeah, you give them advice, heal what you can. Some people have nothing. They're like, just like and you're like, what's your symptom? And you're just like, I just want to know I'm not dying. Like, and you're just like, okay.
He's getting his physical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cough. Yeah. So, okay, but you want to take some blood from some of these people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, and
obviously
you're
I'm
just
not gonna
like,
be like,
I just need some of your blood. And they're like, well, all right, Mr. Thorson.
Yep. I had a feeling that was going to happen.
They trust you so much.
Well, I'm not doing anything. I'm healing what I can. I'm not
You
just
are,
doing. I need your blood.
Look at me. There's no such thing as a Hippocratic oath in this world. All right, there is a Maester's oath, and you are fulfilling it. Maester's oaths have nothing to do with treating people, and has everything to do with serving your family.
Yeah.
Don't worry, there isn't a Hippocratic oath. You're fine.
You're good.
Yeah.
Am I considered chaotic neutral now? No.
No, you're considered Westerosi. Noble. The best alignment. Yeah, so you've got peasant blood.
Okay. And I'm gonna do the exact same thing and document.
Yeah. So just the
With-
random peasant blood doesn't seem to do anything.
Doesn't seem to do anything. Okay.
But Peter's blood, for some reason, promotes the growth of the implanted spores. Sorry, I mean, they're not spores; they're seeds technically, but they're just puffy
the
and weird.
pods.
Yeah.
I wonder if he has ingested I almost said spore, said seed or pod in some way.
Well,
shape,
if
or
you
form.
kill him and open him up, you could definitely find out.
Yeah, but I'm not ready to do that just yet.
Come on.
No.
Because the last thing I need is for him to die. And
Dissection.
You're
last
almost
thing
there, Thorson. Just get to it.
the last thing I need is to kill him, start dissecting him, and then a whole bunch of Weirlights sprout out of him.
Don't have the flowers next to the body.
Well, no, out of himself if he ate the pod.
Oh, it's fair.
Um,
They just bust out of him like a
Terrifying.
like a alien chest burst.
yeah, like a chef, yeah, just with flowers.
They start singing "Feed Me, Seymour."
Yeah,
Hello, my honey.
tap dancing out of there.
For you said his name was Peter, right?
Yeah. His name is Peter.
Is he talkative at all, or is he just kind of like the
Not
mumblings of a madman?
really. Not really. He doesn't talk much, and when he does, it's mostly to himself and about like it. He often just talk. You know, he went through a pretty traumatic experience of looking
Yeah.
at like his sister and niece's mangled bodies and realizing that he's gonna die, and like he's going through some stuff, and he's not in his right mind to begin with. So he's mostly just kind of rave ramblings.
Yeah.
If you want to try and ask him questions, you can. If you're like, do you have any symptoms? Do you have this? Like, just
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of do a diagnose on him, talking through him, and then I'm gonna ask him about some things that he may have ingested, and kind of describe the Weirlight pod and flower, just to.
Yeah, your name. Give me a persuasion roll to try and get him to sort of talk to you.
I am going to roll convince.
Yes, you may. Convince is exactly. It was a very good one for this.
Okay, give me 1 second. I gotta look at one thing.
Boop.
He gets I get a +1 influence when I'm convincing him because I have compelling as well.
Excellent.
So persuasion, convince, and I get a +2 to my convince roll because I am charismatic.
I hate
So
that you have
22.
those two those two feats because you're just becoming a mad scientist.
Oh god.
Mhm. All right, excellent. That's a fucking that's a phenomenal roll. That's what 3 6s. Damn, man. Yeah, absolutely.
Jesus.
Mhm.
So
Still not
22
me yet
plus,
with the
and a
six,
+1.
like the 4 6s.
Yes,
We'll be
you
there.
definitely you won. But
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you get him to trying to talk about like, are you feeling any pain? And he talks about like he just kind of says like his head hurts. Um, and he feels cold. That's about it. You do check. He is 100% running a fever. And you give him things that would like reduce inflammation. And it doesn't really work. However, if you want to give him like a grain of sweet sleep for the pain, because you don't want to use your sexy milk of the puppy, that definitely seems to help.
Yeah.
For sure, at least his pain. But things that normally you would give to someone to lower a fever isn't
Hard
working a ton on him.
Okay. And so when I'm talking to him, does he say anything about anything related to the Weirlight flower, or?
Yeah, he's like, did you eat a seed bud? He's like, no, I've just been eating bread or, gruel or porridge, and like he hasn't eaten anything weird.
Okay.
He's like, and I drink, local ale we make using the stream water to water down the barley and wheat, and
Okay.
And he goes, and sometimes we just drink straight from the stream, and and it's supposed to turn into ale. I know it's supposed to be safer, but
I have a feeling that he's ingested the pollen or something from the flower because he drank from the stream.
He did drink from the stream. Yeah, if you ask him about nightmares, he definitely has been having nightmares for sure.
Were you having nightmares before?
Yeah, he
the
nods.
murder?
Yeah,
Okay.
he says he was.
What about, if you don't mind me asking, if you can remember them?
Every time I tried to talk to people, flowers would come out my mouth, and I was like choking on them. And also, anyone who tried to talk to me would also have flowers come out of their mouths. And I guess, yeah. He doesn't like want to super talk about it, but because
I
you can tell he just doesn't really super understand it.
Yeah. Okay. What about after the murders? Were there The same nightmares, different nightmares.
He
similar?
goes, "Mm, different. Mostly just see my sister's body and wonder what happened to them." And it sounds like more like, trauma nightmares.
Yeah,
And he goes,
struck him with
but
PTSD.
yeah, but no, I haven't. Well, and that's why the nights I sleep best are when the flower nightmares come back. I feel more at ease, honestly, in them. It feels I sleep better.
When was the last time you had one of those flower nightmares?
It's like yesterday.
Was that wasn't that? I'm almost positive that wasn't the day I was doing stuff with his blood, but
No.
yeah,
No, he's just like intermittently he's had them.
yeah. Okay. Because that's all I need from him right now. I'm gonna.
Great.
You said there was some sort of code within the previous Maester's book, correct?
Yeah.
Can I decipher it?
So you can. I know you do have ciphering. It is, as we kind of stated, you sort of need a key thing to decipher it. There is a DCI I have put that I guess you could reach with cunning. Was it decipher?
Cunning, decipher, and I have a 4 in cunning. Could I reach it
Yeah.
with a 4? In cunning?
I mean, well, I maybe
Okay.
because you also have. I know you've got some extra stuff.
For cunning, I don't get any bonuses or anything in it. Not that
Right.
I noticed or anything.
There
The
is a
only thing
chance.
I'd be able to. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I get would be lucky.
I think you can try. Is what I'm definitely
Okay.
saying.
Well, then I will roll decipher.
No, unfortunately. You need a key. You need a key. It's clever. It's really clever. This old man was smart and worked very hard on it. You need that extra missing journal that you think will have
Mm-hmm.
that key in that box that just seemingly disappeared from that storage hall. I will say that storage hall has yet to actually been searched. It's not on the registry, right? That's the only thing.
I know I've already searched the Maester's quarters already.
You have, yeah.
But I would like to try again just to see if maybe I have missed something in the last.
The Maester's quarters you want to search?
Yeah, the tower. Well, he wasn't there before the tower was built, was he?
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I'd like to wherever he was
You,
at.
but
most,
you've looked through his old quarters before.
Okay.
No, I will say you have found everything you can in there. That's
Okay.
There is nothing you missed in the quarters.
Well, I guess how big is the underground where we keep storage? Probably massive.
I mean, it's
huh?
pretty big. It's pretty big. It's not Red Keep big, but
Yeah.
it's a sizable amount. But if you want to have people search down there, or you search and help, you can.
I'm gonna let our temporary stewards know. That way, they can help.
Yeah.
Assist with additional manpower because they'll know probably a little bit more versus me just taking the random Joe Schmo in the castle.
Sure. Absolutely. So if you want to try and search that place thoroughly, you can make a it'll change the things, but you can either make awareness test, a cunning test, or a thievery test.
Thievery is under what?
No, thievery is its own
Okay.
skill.
Yeah, I'll be doing a cunning. That's the one I have the highest.
Cool. Do you have any specialties in cunning?
Just decipher.
Okay. Well, then that's it.
Yep. Are you ready?
If you want to spend a destiny point or anything right now,
I'm gonna roll first, and if I don't succeed it, I'm gonna use my lucky, and that's probably when I'll use a destiny point.
Okay.
So cunning roll.
Okay. That's 14. Are you satisfied with that, or do you want to use lucky, or?
I am going to use lucky, and it just gives me. And if I use a destiny point, it just gives me a bonus die. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, of course.
15. Are you satisfied with that?
That's. Do I have? I've only got one destiny point, so no. I've already burned it.
Okay.
Or used it, not burned it.
So 15 is the
Yeah.
result. So it takes some time. You are searching through the crates. It takes probably a couple days of going in and out of there. But the sort of missing crate, you seemingly find. You find down there. It's hidden pretty well. Seems like a part of some other crates and things, but you're pretty sure this is the missing crate because it's not you have no link of what's in here. So it looks like the registry was changed, but not the actual room. People just moved it essentially. Inside, let's see, hold on. Inside, you don't find much useful things. But there is something about the way these boxes are set up that seem really strange to you.
The boxes that are set up where I found the crate?
Yeah, well, the crate itself, that's the placement of it. Like, it's against this wall. It just seems odd to you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's in the crate is nothing unique. It's heavy, for sure. There are like some iron ingots and some spools of cloth that are, but it's not. It's like definitely a crate not in the registry, but it's just filled with like heavy stuff essentially.
Yeah, I'd like to get the crate moved out of the way. Just push to the
Yeah,
side.
yeah. It doesn't really want to move.
I mean, roughly how big is this crate? Like 3 foot by 3 foot?
Yeah, it's probably about 5 feet tall. About probably 2.5, 3 feet wide. It's opened, right? Like you can, but it seems like it doesn't want to budge.
So the stuff that's inside, take what, 10, 15 minutes for me to kind of pull everything out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do so in the... I'm going to pull everything out, and then just because of me being me, I'm going to kind of and then see if I can move it again.
So yeah, not everything comes out.
What stays?
A bolt of cloth that stood completely upright. Now you realize on its own.
And it doesn't move at all when I try to pull on it, or
so yeah, when you pull, it doesn't. Yeah, it's like stuck. It feels like it's
like
a pull almost. But if you want to fuck with it, you said?
Yes.
Cool. You find if you twist it counterclockwise, it moves, and you hear clicking.
I'm gonna keep fucking with it until.
Yeah, as you keep doing it, you see the crate is going. It's like a crank, and you're moving it.
I'm basically I'm like sliding.
Yeah,
I'm sliding the crate across, and while I'm inside the crate doing this, and okay,
and moves across, and as it moves behind, you see a metal door.
Secret tunnel.
Mm-hmm. Is it like a? Does it have a lock on it, or that I can see?
I mean, it is locked.
Okay.
You do have the Maester's key.
I do. I will.
But you notice that the hole for it isn't really key shaped.
What does it look like?
I mean, you're really smart. There is one thing you got from his personal effects you think might be able to fit in there.
Did I write
Aaron is giving a great hint.
I wasn't looking.
The finger.
I will try. I will give the door the finger.
All right, you give the door the finger. Yeah, and it turns. And and you open, and there's this waft of air behind you that enters this room.
Stale, musty air.
Yep, stale, musty air. And you get a torch up. You walk in, look around, and we see what looks like a low-ceilinged laboratory, but also strange symbols marked onto the ground. This looks like a very odd-looking laboratory. And sat on a large table is what you think. I mean, it's a big red book with the Weirlight symbol on it.
I am going to recognize the book.
Yep.
See that it's there.
Yep.
And does anything else catch my eye here besides the
I mean,
strange
for right
blood
now,
magic?
the book is the big thing.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to head over to the book.
Yep. Open it.
Yep.
Yeah. It says the last will and accounts of Maester Lionel, which is the previous Maester.
Okay.
And in it, if you turn the next page, it just says, "Within this tome lies all I have learned of House Weirlight, how best to serve them, how best to save them, and how best to prepare them for what is coming. Yea, may I complete it before my inevitable demise."
So Thorsten is going to...
And that is where we will end the session.
I knew that was coming.
Thank you guys so much for coming and playing with us tonight. It was super fun. We kind of just, once again, sort of touched in on everyone's. Next time, we are going to have lots of crossover. Vivian on the way to Crake Hall, of course, is going to have to stop off on Highgarden.
Give me Tisea.
Perhaps. We'll have some crossover at the home there. The discovery of this book and Henrik's own foreboding visions, and dreams, and of course, how the front is going. Lots of traces, lots of stories. Come see how they all intersect and connect. Next time on Dice Dropping, Song of Ice and Fire, role-playing game, Chronicles of House Weirlight. Until then, stay safe and see you around.
Bye.